Hi, I'm Sean Bedlam. I do stand-up comedy sometimes. Soon I'm going to do my next solo stand-up comedy show, and as part of that, I've been writing stories about all the times as a child I fucking stole stuff. Here's one of those stories. Doing shameful shit to survive is what it's called. My very first beautiful baby attempt at shoplifting was not a success. I wandered into the local milk bar and spent a very long time looking at the comics in the rotating wire rack. My guess is the milk bar owner was aware of my bullshit the whole time. He would have clocked me as soon as I entered. As I was a small child, I had no idea that unusually quiet children are a walking red flag. I sneakily perused the comics, unaware that I might as well have whispered out of the side of my mouth, "I'm here to steal shit." The trick is to act like you're supposed to be there, and also don't just grab a Spider-Man comic, press it against your body, and sort of crab walk to the door right in front of the guy who's looking right at you. I don't think I even made it to the door. I lost my spot. But my love of theft was born. The guy took the comic from me and told me to fuck off. I couldn't go back to that shop for another go, so I took to raiding letterboxes. I would steal people's mail based on the thought that if Grandma sent me money in a birthday card once a year, surely there was a bonanza waiting in all of those easily accessible slots. As with the milk bar plan, which was very poorly planned, what with lack of situational awareness, not paying enough attention to sight lines and exit routes, the mail theft spree was flawed and doomed, but for different reasons. Every time my hand went into a mailbox, I was exposed to the risk of arrest by a grown-up. Couple this with the vanishingly small chance I would come across envelopes stuffed with $2 or even $5, and I was really demonstrating a prodigal ability to take action without any real point. I was never caught stealing mail in that neighbourhood, possibly because of my parents' incredible habit of moving house frequently. We never moved far, but always far enough to require a change of school. Is 16 schools a lot? Anyway, let's get back to my entirely mysterious childhood habit of doing things impulsively and as if life had no point and I had no future. My mum loved dieting. She loved women's magazines, and women's magazines loved to be full of dieting tips and new diets and fad diets and fucking diets. I guess for this reason, my mother didn't like to have too much food in the house. One afternoon, our brain chemistry, possibly fucked by a lack of food, my brother and I, little boys, got it into our heads that we would die one day. Flipped out and walked around in circles in our bedroom, crying and wailing. Picture two little crying boys, and what they're saying over and over is, "I don't want to die." I can guess that the lack of food might have set that off, but I have no idea why no one ever came to see what was wrong in that room with those little boys. But let's get to the fun stuff. Possibly the first thing I light fingered was a kid's lunch from out of a bin at school. I had noticed kids would often throw out their wrapped lunches and go spend up big at the tuck shop. When they piffed their lunch to go get a pie and a sunny boy, I would super sneakily fish out their lunch and eat it. It wasn't a crime to do that, but trying to survive really is, so I was very careful to do that shit on the quiet. The great thing about that was the shame I routinely experienced at home was now well and truly introduced to the school setting. Nowhere was safe. Hooray! I was finally having an officially shit childhood. There was the fact that I was suffering undernutrition and malnutrition. There was also the fact that it didn't matter if I was well behaved or if I was a little shit. I was treated like garbage either way. It didn't matter if I was good or bad. If I did bad things and was sneaky, I got things I wanted. So why bother taking anything seriously? Fuck the world. Things like that. I may have explained myself poorly. You're thinking my mum had an eating disorder and that's sad. But I'm thinking she was a dumb fucking mole who beat me with a wooden spoon until it broke. Since I started stand up comedy, I've been searching for the perfect joke about my terrible mother, who was a bad person, but it's very hard to get people to sit still long enough. It's not a popular story. People don't want to hear shit like that. And then I've written here more stories of childhood theft and my stolen childhood to come. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. Obviously, when you come to the stand up comedy show, it'll be stand up comedy, meaning, jokes. You won't be sitting there going, oh my God, why is he fucking saying this fucking shit?